with the Real Therapist for the Culture. I am Sophia Cox.
And I am Dr. L.
Hey!
What's up?
We back. We back in the studio. And we switching rooms around. Like, that's exciting.
Vibing. I love it. I love it. I love it. What's up, Soph?
And my twin, we be vibing.
Wait a second. So we did that TikTok. Our TikTok got a lot of views, right? I was like, Jern, you want to see my TikTok? Me and Soph did a TikTok. And she looked at it. She's like, cringy.
Ooh.
I was like, cringy though? Yo, like 2 hours later, all I hear is, I was like, Journey, are you doing the TikTok you just called cringy? She's like, it was just a little cringy to watch y'all doing that. I'm like, you are a hater.
No, that is such, I don't like
Our
that.
Our shit vibed.
ZJ was very impressed. He was like, you could have extended it a little longer. He did say that. But he was like, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. You and Shug Shug. They got to say the name double. She say ZZ. He say Shug Shug.
That's my ZZ.
You and Shug Shug? Like, he was like, but what I will say is y'all look pretty. And I was like, thank you.
I love it.
We got one hater and one, he's all about the looks. So as
I'm
long
with
as
it.
we
I'm
look
with
pretty.
it. I'm with it.
He gave us. So I'm excited. I just did a quick little story. You know how we do here on the Real Therapist for the Culture. It's this single blind kind of thing we got going. Whoever's bringing the topic, the host doesn't know, and we just flip, right? So it is Dr. L's turn. I get a call Wednesday, and she was like, hey, about Friday. I'm thinking she's saying we need to change. We just got back in the studio, so that hey was soft, like buttering me up. She was like, so what's this thing in TikTok 50? She said TikTok 50. And I'm like, I'm off social media for Lent, so I don't know what you talk about. So she was like, well, you're going to be left out if you don't watch this. She knows me. She knows homework assignments. I'm going to chase that even if I'm not interested. So I'm like, 50 what? She like 50 parts. But don't worry, it's kind of short because TikTok only do, 3 minutes? I'm like, no, you could do up to 10 minutes. She said, well, you got to watch it. So in my mind, I'm saying 50 times 10, 500 minutes. Then someone said, no, actually 52, because she's not including the introduction and then some other little interlude, possibly.
Yes.
So I'm like, 520? In my mind, I'm trying to do the math. I'm like, that's almost 9 hours.
That's 9 hours.
How do you think
9
I could
hours.
do 9 hours and you telling me this Wednesday? But nevertheless, I'm caught up and I'm passing.
She ain't talked to me all day yesterday. I was like, Soph must be, doing her fucking homework because I ain't heard from her all day.
While I was getting my hair braided, getting my toes done, I did not let up. And I finished the last 2 parts last night. So, but don't know the topic, don't know anything else except for I had to
Watch it.
So it's on you, baby. What we got?
So, if you are anywhere in America, you may have
You in the chokehold.
It's a lot of people who haven't watched it. And the crazy thing is, I usually miss things. And I really, really almost did because I was telling Soph that I had read one of my Line Sister status and it was like, oh, I'm on episode 17 and I don't watch TV. So I'm thinking they're talking about some Netflix thing.
Right.
And it was like, who the fuck did I marry? And I'm like,
Never heard
I'm
of
not
that.
married, so I'm not watching that shit. I wasn't even on it. So then fast forward, and the people who always put me on is my clients. They was like, did you watch? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? It was just triggering. And I'm like,
That was the word, triggering.
it was triggering. So I was like, I got to see what this is about. And so I got pulled in. And as soon as I got pulled in, I was like, we got to talk about this.
We got to talk about it. And it's super hot right now, so I can't wait. Risa Tisa. Why the fuck? Oh, no. Who the fuck did I marry?
Who the fuck did I marry?
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
And so, shout out to Risa Tisa. And I hope that this finds you amongst all of the feedback and all of the love and all of the support and even just all of the things that she's getting.
Yeah.
But I hope that this does find her because as a clinician, the first thing that got me was my girl did a delineation of the difference between a pathological liar and a compulsive liar. And so
All in her intro.
all in her intro. And so, and I know some people probably skip the intro, but what I will say before we kind of get into the mix of it is, you know, this, to me, brave woman, she video documented her story of how she met, dated, married, and divorced her ex-husband, who she coins as a pathological liar. And so, and deciding how I was going to get pulled, how we were going to, you know, pull this shit apart.
Yeah.
My first question to you, Soph, is
Doom, 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 doom.
what's the most outrageous lie someone you've dated told you?
I thought you was about to say, what's the most outlandish lie you've ever told? I'm like, I don't know. That someone told me. I can't. And this is so foreign. This is why people make fun of me. Like, you haven't been single in so long. You don't remember shit. And I'm like, that's not fair. And here's one of those times where it's like, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I can't think of nothing outlandish. Like, oh, a guy told me he moved to Atlanta. And they were like, no, he didn't. He lives in Northwood. Like, he said he was taking on this VP position at a university at Clark or somewhere, and he was still living in Baltimore. And we weren't even dating. We bumped into each other, and it was one of those, so what's up? How you been? And maybe feeling like he needed to stunt because I was finishing grad school. He heard whatever he had heard about me. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'm doing good. And I'm like, congratulations to you.
And you probably did it all big like that, too. Congratulations.
Because
That's nice.
I'm excited for people. I don't want you. I didn't want you then, really. So it's like, and then I bumped into someone like, yo, guess who? I just seen it, and they were laughing so hard. And I'm like, why you doing all of that? And they like, that Negro lives in Northwood. I'm like, Northwood?
Northwood? Marble Hall Apartments, Northwood?
Yeah, I'm like, stop lying. And they like, no, seriously. Every time I go see my niece, I want to say they live next door. And that was outlandish, even though we weren't dating anymore. But it was thorough, too. Like the VP, the school name.
Oh, man.
Relocated about 8 months ago. They paid for all the expenses to relocate. It was a big deal. I was super excited. That's as good as I could get besides the regular, oh, I don't have kids, but they do have 4 or 5.
So
that's the typical for me that I've heard. Like, because I'll say out there, like, oh, I don't mess with people who have kids. So it's like, oh, me too. I don't have any children. And then, you know, this town is small, and they be like, he got 4 kids and 3 baby mothers. Like, well, why you lying on your kids?
So the crazy thing is that you call that a regular lie.
I know. More
right?
compulsive. Well, let me let you do your thing.
You called it a regular lie. And so,
regular meaning have heard it frequently. Like, have heard that men will lie or deny their kids.
Yes, I
kind
get
of
it.
thing. So that's not fair to say regular. But
I get it. And so, let's do this. Did you know?
Wait, are you gonna say your most outlandish?
Oh God. Yeah.
Okay, come on.
Yes. So a nigga like to.
Oh, you said nigga?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dang, that's what this is today. Okay, let's go, Risa Tisa. You bringing it all out.
So I'm a therapist.
After you said
and
nigga.
I'm a tiny bit FBI a little bit too. But a dude tried to lead me to believe that a tattoo was something that it fucking wasn't, right? Like, oh yeah, this my nephew name, or this my yeah, like it wasn't even a name, it was like initials or whatever,
okay.
Right? And I'm like, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. It wasn't it. It wasn't it.
Yeah.
It wasn't it. It was. Yeah. It was his female's initials actually.
Got you.
Um,
So again, with that normal, I would have threw that in. I could see somebody. That's a frequent lie that someone would say, like, "Oh, you got all these tattoos." Say if my husband and I were divorced, he has my name on him like 3 times. Well, one is covered, so that one doesn't count. That I could see a woman saying, "What does that mean?" and him saying, "Oh, my deceased grandmother."
But this is
Or
the thing.
something like that. He's not saying, "Oh, I got my ex-wife tatted on me this many times."
This is the thing, though. I never asked. I didn't fucking ask. I never asked. Right?
That is the pathological piece. Go for it. I'm sorry.
Right.
All right, I'm sorry.
We're gonna get into this shit because this shit is like so.
I'm gonna just keep saying hashtag Risa Tisa the whole time, though. So.
This is a ridiculously blatant indication of mental disease. That's it. That's the bottom line. Everything. So that is why we have to go in. So did you know that there are like more than 7 types of liars?
The 3 that comes to my mind: pathological, compulsive, habitual.
So I'll start from the bottom.
Okay.
Right? So you have your white liars.
Yep, that would have been my 4th.
So your white liars are the ones who like mixes the truth with the lie.
Are you on your way? Yep, I'm 5 minutes away.
But they're really 10 minutes or 15 minutes
or haven't
away.
even left the house, possibly.
Possibly, right?
That's a white lie.
That's a white liar, right? And then you have your occasional liars, and they just, and so the thing about it is that I wouldn't even sit here on this nice pink couch and say that I have never told a lie.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Occasional is especially parents. Parents are occasional liars. Like, seriously, right? Perfect example of occasional lie. Hey, can we go to Sky Zone? Oh, they doing some reconstruction there. They closed tonight. You guys can relate. Stop it. Parents this is the one. So before it's like, I'm not a liar, I vow to not lie. Most parents, aunts, grandparents, godparents, are occasional liars to children because they don't want to disappoint them. But it's like, oh my God, you didn't call me. I did call you. It didn't go through.
Yeah.
Just occasional lie.
Yes.
Just to give examples.
Yes, that's an occasional liar. Then you have your avoidant liar, right? And your avoidant liar is the person who they really just want to keep the peace.
Yes.
So the avoidant liar might say, I might say, yo, why you ain't tell me such and such was talking about me? And if Sophia's like, she wasn't talking about you, I didn't hear it, it wasn't da 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 da, because she
I didn't even know she was talking about you because I
Right.
didn't know. Yeah, avoiding conflict at all costs.
Avoiding conflicts, you just want things to be okay. Or even if I say, hey, did I offend you? No, you didn't offend me. You was sitting and you steaming on the inside.
Exactly.
Like, that would be an avoidant liar. And as I hate to
Go ahead.
I hate to say it, but as I name them, it gets more intense, I think.
Yeah. So would an avoidant liar also be another example? Say we're about to go out and I say, how do you think this looks? And you say, girl, it look cute. That's not the truth.
I don't think that that's an avoidant liar. I would
Okay.
call that an occasional lie.
Okay.
I call that an occasional
And I
lie.
say avoidant because you're avoiding possibly hurting my feelings, avoiding that now you may want to change and we have to sit here for another 30 minutes while you go through 3 other outfits and we're being late. So can we say that sometimes they may overlap?
They can.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And so as we go up, then we have the compulsive liar. And so Soph had said she's heard of habitual. So under compulsive, like the subset of the compulsive liar is the habitual or the narcissistic liar.
Okay.
Right? And so for the compulsive liar, they lie for a reason. They lie for some type of gain. It could be a physical gain. It could be it could be just to lie to get attention. It could be lying to. It also could be a lie to avoid responsibility,
And
to
it
get
also-
out of something.
Yeah, it also could be impulsive too, like just quick with the response.
So that's the thing with the habitual, is that the habitual part of it is that it just comes second nature.
Exactly.
It's so fast. It just, it's like they may not even like mean to lie. It's
Yeah,
just like the
exactly.
shit is like it comes out so naturally. Hey, what you did yesterday? I ain't do nothing. Fuck.
What?
Fuck you mean?
I saw your story. You said right now I'm at Sangria Patio.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh no. Right, like that.
Oh, girl, I forgot. You were there for 3 hours. Yeah, just natural. Those ones bother me.
Okay, okay. And then you have the pathological liar. And the pathological liar is almost like this like natural urge to not just lie but it's you make shit up that's not true.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot more energy.
It is
like
a lot of effort.
It takes a lot of effort to come up with like,
Because they're creative, they're cunning, manipulative. A lot of these other, it's not, yeah, like the compulsive, they do want to gain something, but it's not really this well thought out manipulation. It
Right.
can come across
Right.
manipulating, right? But it's not that deep. Like, why did you just lie about that? And it's just like, oh man, I didn't think about it, or, you know, that kind of thing. But the pathological, it's so witty, so cunning, and that's the scary one for me.
it's scary also because there's no goal for it. I come in here and I say, I am the queen of Zamunda. Why am I coming here to tell you
Yeah.
that I am the queen of Zamunda? What would that get me?
So the thing about it, I gotta add, right? So there's no goal to it. There's always a goal for them internally, like just feeling alive, that they got away with it, that they convince you of that. There is a goal for them. The other person is, I didn't even fucking ask you about this tattoo. Why are you telling me this? And that's what usually people will say, recitisa after, like, some of these lies didn't even, like, for what? I didn't even ask you to get me a new car. I didn't ask for this. But for them, there is a goal that I could get away with it, that I am even more cunning than I was last year. Like, I've gotten better.
See.
It's something internal, and that's what makes it the mental health disease. Because there is something that they are striving and thriving for.
Well, okay.
All
And
right.
so you've said that the pathological is like they're the most scary.
For me.
Yeah. I think the compulsive liar and the pathological liar, they're both scary for me, because with the
But
compulsive,
which one is your scariest, though?
so I'm probably gonna say the compulsive liar, because those are probably the ones that you keep around the fucking most, because they're very often charming.
Not like the pathological.
Pathological to me, like, it brings up fucking weird. And I, like...
They are the charming ones. They are the ones who you will be married to, have a kid with, have a home with, and you be like, what the fuck did I do?
This dude did not seem charming at all.
What?
You felt
she
like
had a flat. He come in, swoop into the rescue like, yo, I got you. Don't even worry about nothing. I'm about a tire. Like, that is charming. Now, if you see how he look and all of that, like, you would get, that's not fair. But the way he responded to her, that's charming. The compulsive liar will fuck around and say, I got a flat too. I can't come and get you. I can't. My car broke down. Shit, yo. Oh, that's crazy. Call AAA. I'm going to call AAA. Let's see who comes first. That's what the compulsive liar is doing. The pathological is creating a whole life. And you be fucked up like, am I crazy? The pathological will make you question everything about you.
So yes, I think you're right. I think the thing about the pathological liar, I think it's harder to detect them.
That's the part that will fuck you up. They are gaslighters, and you don't even know that term until you in therapy 5 years.
But-
and you be like, oh, I've been gaslit the whole time.
So there's this meme that I've seen, and it was like Gemini's know you lie, and they just sit and watch you tell your story.
Yeah.
So like, even when I'm being told about this tattoo that I never fucking asked about, I'm sitting there and I'm like,
Still typing or doing whatever you're doing.
right? Like, and it's like you can watch them, and I just be it's very strange to watch somebody just tell a fucking lie in your face, and I'm just like,
So
okay,
I don't want
shit
to
is scary
deflect, but that's scary for me.
to just watch it.
Watch the lie. Continue to just watch it unfold. They say that Capricorns are the lie detectors. The difference with us is once you've got it out, hey champ, this is what we're gonna do, because we have this thing about not you making us look stupid now, right? So it's like I have to call it out.
So that
I have to call it out so that you don't think that I am stupid. The Gemini is like, I want you to think I'm
want you to think I'm stupid.
so that you can keep going. That's sick. That is sick.
That
We're
is.
not gonna
I love it.
have an episode on that. That's sick.
I love it.
Like, oh, I don't like when people think I'm stupid, but I'm gonna play stupid.
I love it. I love it.
No, I'm calling it out.
I love it because okay, so then the other level is it's like ammunition. And it packs in. And then
This is scary.
you ever see that picture of Scarface? And it's like
I don't think the picture is making it sound. But yep, I know that scene very well, right?
that shit, like that just gave me a
Yeah.
rush. When you get to fire all of those rounds of ammunition, like
Yeah.
in this, because what the thing that I
Yeah,
can't do,
that's good.
the thing that I can't do is go back and forth with you.
Yeah.
Because it gets tiring. I'm not going
Right.
to do it.
And I may jump out there at the beginning, so I really might not have a strong leg to stand on. I've been told before, like, you have to understand the difference between being a detective and a Fed. You are the Feds, right? You're going to let it build up, which is why their conviction rate is so high, right? Because by the time they come, what are you saying? You say, I surrender more times than not. A detective comes, you ain't got nothing, champ. You don't got nothing. What you?
Because if you had something, you would have me in cuffs right now.
Exactly, right? So I will say that I have been the detective where it's like I got one thing and I'm calling the lie out.
Yeah.
And then the compulsive or the pathological liar is able to spin you, and it's like, well, that is true. His grandmother did pass, so maybe he was really at the repast. Stop playing these games. So continue.
So
This is good.
so
already.
in the categories of the lies that we have outlined, let's pull a few out from the story.
Okay.
So let's pull out some white lies from Risa Tisa's
Okay.
story. I think a white lie that he told was, so a white lie is the truth mixed with a lie.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters. He had no sisters. I don't even know I still think it's a little pathological because it's almost like what was the reason to add 2 sisters?
Exactly. So we could do that with quite a few things. Because did the father, who he said was in law enforcement, he was in corrections.
He was in corrections.
Right, which is considered law enforcement, but not to the extent that he said it. His grandparent did really pass away, just not of COVID. The grandmother been deceased since 2008.
But he said 2015. So I don't
right.
I don't know what I call that one because that's
So-
a little
So wait,
that's weird.
What I'm saying is all of his white lies can't really be considered white lies because it was all compound for the pathological piece.
Absolutely.
So it's like it's hard. Once a person is deemed a pathological liar where you can see this play out, it's like,
Everything goes into the
everything
bubble.
was a lie for that purpose of this need and this whole piece. So it's challenging to say
Yeah.
no. He had no white lies.
No white lies. Okay. Would you say there were any avoidant lies? We X an occasional lies out because this
exactly.
dude, he just was a liar. Of any avoidant lies.
I could see that him saying where the ex-wife lived could be an avoidant one. Avoiding the question of, do you still see her? Do you bump into her in Atlanta? What's your relationship like? Considering he had said that he still has a relationship with the stepkids. I could see that being an avoidant lie. So just saying she lives in a whole nother state.
So I still put that to pathological because...
I told you I feel like all of this is, but you keep forcing me to try to find one. So yes.
I still say that one goes into pathological because the initial story that he told is I lived in California.
Yeah.
I divorced my wife in California. And then after they had dated or even once they were married, he says, oh yeah, so my ex-wife moved to Atlanta or to Georgia. And it's like, or now are you trying to like put the lies together because she had been in Georgia the entire time. I think an avoidant lie would have been, and so maybe for anybody who hasn't seen the story, he had her under the impression that he was like buying her a house and they were going to buy a house and there was a house that she picked out and he said that he put an offer on it. And then the realtor calls Risa Tisa and says, hey, are you guys interested in this house? If so, we should put the offer in. And she's like, well, what do you mean? He said that he already put the offer in with you. And he's like, no, you should talk to him. So she asked him and he ends up, the response is, what is he doing reaching out to you? I didn't say I put the offer in with him. I put the offer in with my homeboy, and my homeboy is a realtor, and that wasn't right, and blah, 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 blah. And so instead of telling her that there was really no offer in on this house, that is what he... This is what he, you know what I mean, to avoid her disappointment or whatever the case was.
I'll give you that one.
I don't think we can make a delineation between you. Would you pull any out that were compulsive?
No, because even the phone calls, the alleged phone calls with the brother every day. Hey, he said, what's up?
He was like, hey, she said every morning, 6:15. 6:15 when he's going out the house.
40 minutes.
He like, yeah, bro. Yo. Dave said, what's up? Yeah, she said, what's up? Barbecue this weekend? You want to go to barbecue this weekend? Yeah, we gonna think about it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So no, I can't think of...
I wouldn't be able to do that every day. And fake a phone call?
I can't think of any compulsive. They all were compulsive, right? Because that's the thing too, right? Is so you broke down these different types of liars, right? Also what they say is that the compulsive liar could potentially, right? So it's like, which one comes first? So not which one comes first.
That which one is more dangerous?
No. Like, so say a pathological liar is a compulsive liar. A compulsive liar doesn't necessarily have to be a pathological liar. You get what I'm saying? So they do go hand in hand, and a lot of times, even clinically, people will use them interchangeably.
Yes.
Because what they're trying to say is it's almost like a slippery slope, like when a child is diagnosed with oppositional defiant disorder, they would say, oh, gotta pay attention because they could grow up and have antisocial personality disorder. That's what happens with compulsivity with that too, right? So compulsive liar, it's a slippery slope to becoming a pathological
Absolutely.
liar. Not
Okay.
saying that it's ironclad, right?
Right.
So we don't need to go through examples with that because we're clear that he is a pathological liar, which also makes him a compulsive liar.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And so, in this story, what was the most bizarre? So, I'm gonna tell you this. I watched all of it, and I couldn't believe I watched all of it. Like, I have the listening capacity, right? But the fact that I watched the entire thing, and I had to ask myself, how the fuck did you do this? Like, why did you do it? And honestly, I was really waiting to be wowed. I was waiting to be like, damn, right? And honestly, I don't feel like I was ever wowed. Like, none of it seemed unbelievable. Like, the amount of lies and the intensity of lies that he told did not seem unbelievable to me because I've heard stories like this. I've lived stories like this, to be honest, where it's like, did that just fucking happen? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Right? But some of the lies that he told, I was like, what the fuck? Why was that? What was the most outlandish, unnecessary lie that you pulled from Risa Tisa's story?
The one that sticks out immediately is saying that the father was the pastor, but then going to this church.
What'd he do? What'd he do?
Took her to the church. It was like say you stick with it, right? You just like, oh, my mother was a teacher, retired teacher, and my father was in law enforcement, and then became this pastor and pastored at this church, and I want to take you there so that you could learn a part of me. That was wow. That was more wow than taking a phone call, because I could be honest and say that there's been times that someone maybe come into my house or a neighbor wants to talk, and I get out the phone, and I'll be like, hey. And they like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? I'm like, put the finger up, like, not right now. And I point to the phone. I have done that. Is that a white lie or avoided?
Avoided.
Okay, I think it's definitely avoided. And I've done it a few times, and I'm still holding the phone right now. So, doing it every day for 30 to 40 minutes is wild, but I have faked a phone call before. Okay?
Okay.
Not every day for 10 months. That taking her to just any church in Augusta is crazy to me.
So, the most wild one for me, the wildest one for me, this is wild. This is more wild than taking her to the church. Going on our date. You want to see where my grandmother's buried? You want to see my grandma? You want to see where my grandmother's buried?
And the grandfather, make sure that you say that
yeah. You see that headstone over there? Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's my grandmother's. That's my grandmother's headstone. My grandmother's headstone, who just died, from COVID in 2020. But your grandmother, that's not your grandmother's head. Oh, and then it says, and she's buried with granddaddy. Granddaddy underneath. Granddaddy and grandmama are buried over yonder. And number one is your grandmother died in 2008, not 2020. And your grandmother, that's not your grandmother's headstone. Your grandmother isn't even in that fucking cemetery.
That is wild. That was more wild than
That's wild.
him saying the stepdaughter died.
Yeah, that's just some bullshit right there.
Right.
That's
Like,
some bullshit. Like,
that was
I don't know how you tell a lot. Like,
That's
that you should go to hell for that
crazy,
shit.
right?
You don't do that shit.
Like, you gonna wish that on somebody's daughter? Like, why would you say that?
Shout out to Risa Tisa. Risa Tisa said, I ain't had a heart to tell.
I ain't have the heart to tell, even though she know now, but
Yeah.
I didn't have the heart to say. So she said, "Oh no, I heard she had COVID, so I just wanted to know if she was okay." That going to the church and having me sit through service. She didn't say that part, but in my mind, she sat through a service of just a random church.
Thinking you getting a part of your man's history.
Your deceased
Right.
father-in-law, feeling connected. And the burial that was intense.
That's like, and she didn't ask that. Like, we wasn't. They weren't. It didn't seem
hey,
like it.
show me.
Hey, did your grandma get her headstone yet? Yeah, want to go check it out? Now that would have
Take
simple,
me to the church where your father was preaching at for however many years. I didn't ask for that. That's the path. That's the sickness. That's the real illness. That is just like, I just woke up today and said, my cunning mind said, where do I want to take this lie today?
That's scary as shit.
The other one, so it's like saying that you're having a conversation with this brother who you haven't spoken to since the mother died in 2015. Haven't spoken since then. But to say he was talking to Junebug and Junebug is dead, that was alarming for me. That was wild for me. Not the people who actually still alive. And, you know, we do this thing in therapy called empty chair technique. Where you tell your client to act like your mother is sitting there. What is it that you will want to say? You know, we ground them, let them take some deep breaths, and let it rip to what you want to say to this person. So the phone shit, I grew up as an only kid in my household. I talked to people.
You pretended?
Yeah.
Okay.
I talked to people. I'm not going to hold you. I've been having conversations with my grandmother. She's been deceased about 2 months now. Jenny and I, we talk, right? So, but to never even making it seem like Junebug is still alive, it was clear, it was clear that he is sick.
Definitely.
He is sick.
Definitely.
And Risa Tisa, so a part of me watched it because I was given an assignment. After the third one, I was like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna make it through this. Like Dr. L just said, been a clinician for quite some time. Not saying that everyone's story is similar, but one thing, like lying, infidelity, stuff like
the
that.
shit just goes around in circles.
Yeah, right? Sometimes there are men and women, they get a little bit crafty with it, and it's like, oh, wow. that was a little different. But it's not a lot. And even at a certain age, forget our profession, right? At a certain age, you could feel like I've heard a lot. So I was like, yeah, I'm not getting caught up with this. But what I do want to shout out is that she's a great storyteller. You know, we tell stories very detail-oriented. And that could be a lot for people sometimes. We'll say times, we'll say dates. She got me beat. Risa Tisa, you are an orator. The way you told a story, that kind of pulled me in. Not the story, per se, but she was just authentic in the story. What she remembered, her vulnerability. I was impressed with that, and I definitely feel like I didn't read the comments and things like that, but even when she was saying like, "Harsh, you guys are kind of harsh. Like, why would a VP be dating someone like me?" I was like, that's not cool, because I don't even know why you got this idea that all VPs looks like
a certain type of way.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So that was corny, but she is such a dope storyteller. I can't wait for her to be able to have children, because the kids are gonna love story time at night. Yeah. She's animated, but not too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just felt organic.
Absolutely.
So that kind of kept me like, all right. When she was like, this is a Lifetime, I was like, yeah, I'm not really seeing it. But by the end, I'm thinking about Lifetime movies. It's really a pathological sociopath
Yes.
that has done that. So I'm like, I give you that. Because at first I'm like, this is giving me VH1, BET kind of thing.
No, it was definitely
But
Lifetime.
once I got through, I'm like, this is 100%
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
a mental disorder that I could see. Risa Tisa, I could see your story on Lifetime, and I wish that for you.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I deflected by giving that shout out because she's
No.
a good storyteller.
No. She
And
she,
you know,
she
my
definitely
top
is.
Maya, Biggie, and now Risa Tisa. Those are my top 3 right now. Black History Month. You got Paul Lauren Dunbar beat Risa Tisa. You under Biggie for me. So I had to say that.
I could listen to Morgan Freeman talk all the time though. But yeah, that was you're absolutely right. And so a lot of these lies were extremely unprovoked, unwarranted, and I think the conglomeration of lies was to have her,
Yeah.
to keep her, or whatever it was. But I guess what I'm going to say is, and how we're going to usher from the lies into one of the terms that she used throughout the story was United Nations of red flags.
There we go.
And she kept...
Now, at some point, she said, we out of the United Nations, we in the Olympics of red flags.
She kept referencing red flags.
Yeah.
And so, we always going back to definitions, right? And so red flags in the terms of relationships are things, warning signs, hints, clues that this person may not be a good relationship fit. And so with that being said, the tricky part, I think, is that what's a red flag for me may not be a red flag for you.
Absolutely.
Right? And so I in the story, like before she even started to disclose, if you can, like before she started to uncover the lies, did anything seem like a red flag to you?
So, and this is no judgment, no heat on it, right? The online dating could be a red flag for me, but this is COVID kind of thing, so it's a little bit more challenging just to meet people in a natural setting, right? But I just feel like, yes, people could lie to you face to face too, but definitely with these profiles, it's like I get to say whatever I want to say. So I felt like the way she was even saying, no, she did say that he did look like his picture.
Yes. And she was nervous that he wasn't going to look like his picture, knowing what oftentimes happens with online dating.
So online dating for me just sometimes it's just a natural red flag, because I feel like you may have to dig a little bit more to even see if what they're saying is true. Not saying that he presented any red flags with the online dating.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, so
I get it.
At the beginning, no. I can't recall before she started to, he did a good job initially at that first one.
Okay.
What you got?
What would have been a red flag for me was she said that their first conversation, he talked a lot.
Can you elaborate? Why would that have been a red flag?
So she basically what she said is that he told his whole life story in one sitting.
Got it.
And that for me as a dating clinician, right? Because you try to turn that shit off sometimes, it would have been overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
And for me, it would have been, nah, I'm not about to be this nigga therapist. That would have been for me. But again, for Risa Tisa and she didn't say this, or even for Jane Doe, they would have been like, oh my God, he's so transparent.
That part, exactly. I could see people saying that. It's already this myth that men don't share, and they're just kind of asking questions and just not really opening up. So I could see tons of women saying like, yo, I like that he shared about him and some of his struggles and childhood, and it depends on how it could have been. It would have been a turn on for me, possibly. Not
Okay.
where I felt like, because my sister and I do this thing with my dad. Oh, let me read this message that my father said, right? This is why we have a level of ADHD. He sent a message to me yesterday. Just saw your partner in crime advertising about y'all upcoming Instagram show on Who the Fuck I Married. Well. And then this emoji. I'm like,
What?
I don't even get the emoji.
What?
It's so cute that this father listens to all these episodes. But I bring him up to say that sometimes my sister and I will say to him, you talk a lot and we really can't jump in there. You got a whole bunch of stories. He want to feed us with all this information. There's no room for us. If it was that way, I would have been like, this is a bit much for me. But if he was just openly just kind of sharing and engaging me too, if I was dating, I would have been impressed. I would have liked that.
You would have liked it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that goes to your point, right? That what's a red flag for you, it's very individualized.
Yes.
Because how he dressed may have been a red flag for me, and somebody else would have been like, oh, I mean, we going to Cheesecake Factory, it's nothing too... And I'm like, he ain't have to razzle-dazzle, but he's giving homeless vibes already. That may have been a red flag for me. And again, not looking for a label or this or that, just groomed.
Yeah.
Disheveledness is a red flag for me.
Yeah. So the other thing that's a red flag for me, and I don't know if it's a red flag or if it's just a turn off or it's just annoying as shit, is when very early on, and I don't know how early on he divulged this information, but when you telling me what you have, because for me,
Well, pretty early. They
Right.
moved in a couple of weeks, so he divulged what he had pretty early.
what he was pretending to have,
Well,
like,
that-
I played,
yeah.
I played football, arena football. That wouldn't have shook me up though. That wouldn't have made me be like, ooh, right? Arena football, and you got all of this money. That would have been a red flag for me, because I would have been sitting there thinking like, are you telling me this because now you want me to tell you what I got? Because I ain't about to tell you what I got. Like that, maybe that's paranoia a little bit.
Sounds like it.
Right?
Because I thought you was going to say the red flag is you telling me all this because now you want me to need you, or it's going to turn into a controlling kind of situation. That's more red flag. You being concerned that he want to know about your stuff is...
Yes. I didn't ask you that. Why are you telling me that? You want me to share? You want me to reciprocate? You want me to say, oh, well, me too? Like, what do you want? What is this supposed to be?
I
Like,
hate you in this dating world.
you know what I'm saying? Like that shit is corny to me. And so, do you know that there are types of red flags?
No. I love to be educated. Share.
So you've heard of them, you just didn't know that they were. So
Okay.
you have like, love bombing. You know what love bombing is, right? Breadcrumbing. Have you ever heard of breadcrumbing?
Oh, I'm like just giving you a little bit kind of thing.
It is. It's like almost like I think it's equivalent to like stringing you along type of thing.
Exactly.
And so
just
it's
enough
like
to keep luring you in for a little bit more and a little
bit more.
Yeah.
And then if you
That's a red flag. Okay.
if you pull all the way back,
then they push.
Then they do like a love bomb type of thing, and you get back in, and they just give you a little bit,
Yeah,
and a little bit,
okay.
and a little bit, and a little bit. So if I say something like, oh yeah, I really don't know if you can meet my needs and blah 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 blah. And all the very simple things that I ask for is, you know what? All I really need to feel taken care of is for my car to get washed and a fucking coffee allowance or something. And you're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's easy. That's simple, right? And you come and get my car the next day and never fucking clean my car again.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
oh yeah. Here's your
Oh,
Dunkin'
that
Donuts.
that seems really common, right?
Right? And so it's like, oh, and it's like, oh, you did what
you
I
pull me
oh,
back in
thank
and it-
you.
oh,
Oh my God.
that's
And you
good.
pull me back in and then it's
I did enough just to quiet you, like to hush you,
yes.
to now string along for the potential that you've seen.
Yes. Breadcrumbing.
Ooh, I don't like that
I didn't
one.
like it.
I don't like that one. Because that happens in marriages, that happens in all relationships.
Yes.
Even to a friend, right? You
It's
say
very
to a friend,
fucking
like,
manipulative, though.
yeah, like, damn, you never call and check up on me, and I don't really like that feeling. And now it's like, hey, just checking in, and never get it again.
Never get it again.
Oh man, that's disheartening.
That doesn't feel good.
That doesn't feel good. That feels
That doesn't feel
like the
good.
pathological person, like
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
manipulative.
All these shits go together. Some just other things is like if they present as controlling. This guy didn't see.
He didn't
I guess-
seem that way to me.
He didn't seem controlling. It didn't sound like either one of them really have friends, but I don't know. She didn't really say that. Having no friends is a red flag. Like if somebody you meet somebody and they don't have any friends and they just always want to spend all their time with you, that could be a red flag. That could be hard for somebody to detect who really likes being with their person all the time.
Yeah,
right?
exactly, right? Because think about, I know we have vast like ages that listen, right? 35 and up, where many are in their careers, may have started families, at this point kind of jumping into some other lanes. It's challenging to be with your friends a lot or spend time and all of those things, right? So at a certain age, it could look like you spending all your time with me. That may not be because I don't have no friends. They just got 3 kids and they always at dance or somewhere in something. So that could be a little tricky. Now, if you hear the person say like, nah, I really don't have no friends versus, nah, I got friends, but I don't get to see them. And if they're a liar, you don't really know if that's true too.
I don't fucking know.
Right? Because it looked like Legion had people, but to find out he really didn't. Somebody new in my life may assume that I don't have a lot of friends because I don't get to see you guys. Like, you don't hear often that I'm like, oh, I'm at dinner, I'm at this place, and I'm at that place. And if I say, no, I do. I have tons of friends. I just don't get to see them.
People know you got friends. Like no.
I'm just saying, that's a tricky one.
I think they all can be tricky.
Yes.
Because controlling can be easily
Say it.
perceived as I care about you.
Or from a woman's perspective, that man takes the lead.
Yeah.
That's where it could get tricky.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I picked out where, oh, I think you would like this meal. I've been here before. Or why don't you get dressed tonight? Like, a woman could be really enthralled by that, especially if you've been in a relationship where somebody is super passive and kind of just going with the flow, or you always making a decision. That next relationship where somebody will say, he always saying where y'all going and what trip y'all taking, but it's like, I like for this man to be leading.
Yeah.
And someone else could perceive it as control.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. They all can get very, very tricky. So when you say no friends, can we also say that another one could be, it's individualized, right? So another one would be not close with any family members.
Absolutely. That's a red flag for me.
It is. Because to me, in my mind, and it's an assumption, right? But the story that I'll tell myself is that now you're going to say, like, oh, you going to work out with your sister again?
Yeah.
Your nephew is always over
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
you always letting your mother spend a night? And then you're going to start
Yeah.
trying to shut down mine because my family can look enmeshed at
Yeah.
times, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what I would be assuming. And that could be wrong.
That
Because
yes,
they
absolutely.
could actually love this because
They don't have it.
exactly,
And so,
right? So it's like, yo, I look
absolutely.
at your mother like a mother and your sister like my sister.
And so that's the hard part and the complexity of all of this, right? Is that he told a lot of lies. I didn't read the comments either. I didn't want to. He told a lot of lies, and she kept saying, like, I know y'all, red flags. I ignored them. Maybe I didn't want to see them. Could you understand how she missed those things?
Yes. Yes, the same way that we all do, right?
Yeah.
And I know due to time, so what you forcing me to do is a part 2 because that's what I want to spend time on. You know, I love how it was picked apart with the liars and being able to focus on Legion and how it shows up. But I want to spend time on Risa Tisa, the Risa Tisa that's within all of us, the Krishan Rock that's in all of us, right? Where it's what's happening with you. That one invited this in, called this in, but then accepted it once you became aware of it, right? Like that is the nitty gritty for me. You know, the last workshop I did is like the most important relationship in life is the one with yourself.
Yeah.
So why did she? We could play with that all day. She actually divulged some of it. One, I wanted it to be my turn. I didn't want to be embarrassed by my family. I didn't want to be alone anymore. So that level of transparency was so dope for me that I could have stopped there actually. Because she said that in like 12 or 13. So I really was like, I'm done. Like for her to be able to see her role in this was amazing. And you know people don't like when we say that. Like what role you played and being married to a pathological liar. It's like, so you're blaming me? We're not even going to play that game again. But what role did you play in this? What space were you in where you got to the nations of
red
flags and still said, I'm going to get married and still, you know, like, what space am I in? I said, fuck that. I'm getting this ring. We going to get this house. I'm going to be in this Audi or this BMW
with the cognac
interior. Like, how, that's going to be a part 2. How, as women, we could get so tunnel vision on the vision where everything in the peripheral or even in front of us, we ignore.
All right.
Like, we can't grow if we keep focusing just on Legion.
All right.
Legion's going to Legion. Risa Tisa, what are you doing now?
So,
she did say therapy is supportive.
That's where we'll put the pin in it. Then,
okay.
Right? We'll put the pin in it there.
I'm bringing it back next episode. I'm not even going to make a gap. The next one, that's where we're running with this.
That's completely fine. I think in all of this, the point that I do want to drive is that before, you know, we get into a part 2 is that I don't blame her, right? I don't blame her, right? Not sometimes, relationships are risky.
100%.
Engaging in a relationship, no matter what the nature of the relationship is, it could be an entrepreneurial business relationship. It could be an intimate. It could be just friends. It could be me getting out of my car talking to a dance mom is a risk for me, right? Because I don't know what's about to come with this, right? And so entering into relationships are risk. People bring their representative to the table, and it can take years to find out who somebody really is. And because we change every day, That changes
Yep.
every single day. And so, to me, and people don't like when I say this, there's no fucking such thing as red flags.
Talk that shit, Dr. L.
There's-
Last episode you were Suge and you back. You fucking back. Talk that shit.
There are no such things as red flags. It is about people's patterns of behavior and what you learn about that person over the course of your interactions with them. And that's just it. Okay?
I like that. I like
And
that.
so I am looking forward to part 2.
Yeah, I'm killing it.
Because-
I'm fucking killing it because, and not picking Risa Tisa apart, but picking
Absolutely.
that piece apart of seeing you in every relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I do. I love, love, love that because what I usually will say is, because people like to connect to words, right? So I'll be like, do your thing. You like the word red flag? Okay. My thing is your awareness of you, right? And what fits for you.
That's it.
Because once you say red flag, we watch sports. I see you got the fucking Ravens flag out your car. I'm like,
Stay focused.
I pull up. I'm like, what? Next thing you're gonna get the what is it? The decal. The
I had it on my car. The spray paint. I had it on my car for the first
yo, you
playoff
gotta
game.
relax. You like
You didn't see all my flags at the on my
at the
on my
house,
lawn?
right? But you don't have to carry it on.
You
the
should have
car.
seen me going to pick my fucking flags off the lawn. It was like I would look like Charlie Brown picking my flags up. I digress.
We did, but the flag, right? We watch sports, and a flag is a universal thing, right? And that's why I agree where it's like there's no such thing as red flags in the contents of you making it seem like flag on the play. False start. That's a universal call
Very
in the
concrete thing.
NFL. I could have red flags. For me, you can't say red flags. Y'all should have known the red. How you telling this lady what her red flags are? I don't give a shit that he had 8 kids and been married twice. That's not a red flag for me.
Yeah.
He was married at 18, shit didn't work. He tried again at 27, it didn't work. Now we 45 and he popping. Like, that's not a red flag for me, right?
Yes.
So I do agree with that. But what is more important is your awareness of knowing
Absolutely. What it is you want,
exactly.
what it is you don't
you
want.
control it. Well, I like it because it means you're taking a lead. You're not close with your family. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So I do really love that. I really love that people stop trying to.
Put shit in a box that don't belong in a
Exactly.
box. And that's it.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. I don't like that, and that's that. You can't tell me otherwise. I could share with you, but you can't tell me that's my red flag.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
what it seemed like they was telling her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was good
So-
that she could identify that it was a lot of red flags for her.
For her.
There were quite a bit.
All right. This was good.
This was good. This
Thank
was
you,
a
Risa
good, exactly. Thank you for sharing.
And for being brave enough to put your story out there.
No, for real. Like, what do pastors say? Allow your story to be your testimony for somebody else's glory.
Okay.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
So that's people could learn from this, and that's what she said.
That's
on
what she said.
50
If just one person learns.
with the music playing in the background, if one woman, feels like I got something from this, and if anything, hopefully it's just the education of one, if you're in a relationship with someone who's any of these liars, but let's make sure that you're not one of these liars. Because what Dr. L, and we'll bring it back, but some of the mental illnesses that,
Go in with that.
yeah, exactly,
Dangerous.
right? Very, very dangerous. And many people don't even know what personality disorders are.
Right,
And,
right.
so you could kind of play with even looking at the history to say, like, man, do I have symptoms of
Yeah,
borderline
yeah.
personality? So this definitely was good. And,
Right.
to continue, we're going to keep this going while
It's hot.
Risa Tisa got y'all in the chokehold. So, this is where we are. Follow us at Instagram.
On Instagram.
On Instagram at Real Therapist. You can email us at realtherapist@gmail. Facebook, Real Therapist. It's not hard to find us.
Just
Real Therapist.
Real Therapist.
Make sure that you watch on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, because we love hearing from you guys.
Until next time.
Be kind to you.
Peace.